Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. Well, the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family has some grand plans, folks. This absolute moron actually thinks that he's going to, quote-unquote, return to public life after the Epstein scandal blows over. That's the kind of person we're dealing with. This guy is absolutely delusional. Does he not understand what is happening around him? Does he not understand that his best friend Ghislaine Maxwell is in the hoosegow as we speak, telling Lord only knows what sort of tales? For this guy to actually think that he's ever going to come back into public shows you just how far out of touch he is with reality. Now, I don't think we needed much more of an example for how far out of touch with reality that the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family was, besides that interview he gave Emily Maitlis, but hey, here we are. Once again, this buffoon exposes himself for being just that, an absolute buffoon. He is not welcomed into any public setting. Who's going to welcome this guy with open arms, especially considering we haven't seen anything yet? Wait until trial. Wait until discovery. Wait until the case continues to grow. And then what? How's he going to deny all of that? How's he going to deny all of these people who have already said they're willing to speak about his whereabouts and what he was involved in under oath? What's he going to do then? Does he think he's just going to show up and be part of society again? Is England going to accept that? Maybe some of his buddies in the halls of the aristocracy, but I'm pretty sure the common folk of England have had a belly full of people like Andrew. And I am pretty sure the people of England demand more from their monarchs and from those who would represent them on the world stage. This guy has been nothing but an embarrassment to himself, to his family, and to his nation. And he continues to be an embarrassment with wacky ideas such as these. So our article tonight is from the New York Post. The headline, Prince Andrew reportedly plots public return despite Epstein's scandal. This article was authored by Lee Brown. The Joe Exotic of the Windsor family is plotting a return to public duties to serve his country, even as the feds still want to speak to him about his ties to his late pedophile pal Jeffrey Epstein, according to a report on Sunday. So, he's hatching plots behind the scenes. He thinks that this is going to just blow over. It's going to go away. And that everybody's going to forget about the role he played and how he lied about what he would do in the aftermath. He went on TV and straight up lied. I'll cooperate with anybody who is involved in the investigation, authority-wise. No, hasn't done anything like that. The authorities have wanted to talk to him. They've wanted to question him. He doesn't want to be questioned. He wants to put it in writing. Does that sound like somebody who wants to help out? Does that sound like somebody who wants to do the honorable thing? Not to me, it doesn't. Andrew, 60, was dumped from royal duties almost a year ago amid uproar over a BBC interview he gave about his ties to Epstein, as well as accused madam, co-conspirator, fellow child abuser, general all-around scuzzbag and bipedal serpent, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is now also facing sex trafficking charges. So, he's the only one that, squeaky clean. He's hanging around all of these despots. He's hanging around all of these madmen, rulers of arms traffickers, sex traffickers, child abusers. But him himself, nah, good guy. The company he keeps, well, that's just a coincidence. They really think we're stupid. They really think we're going to continue to buy their bullshit. And I can tell you now, the people in England, especially with this second wave of COVID blowing through and more lockdowns on the horizon and Lord knows only what else is in store for all of us, people are going to be paying attention. And people are already pissed off. For this guy to actually think that he's coming back into society, that he has a chance to just put this behind him and move on, well, he has not been paying attention. I don't think the public is going to let that occur, and I certainly don't think that Virginia is going to let that occur. The Duke of York's announcement last November had said his absence was for the foreseeable future, and royal sources told the Sunday Times of London that he has held official talks about returning duties. He's held royal talks, huh? With who? What's he sitting around having a tea party with Fergie, holding official royal talks? Because if anyone in the royal family is taking this seriously, if anyone, including the Queen, thinks that they're going to let this guy rejoin the public and not face serious backlash, well, they are not paying attention to what's going on around them. They are not paying attention to the fact that people have had enough. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, folks. And when they see these elites out here with these stupid-ass ideas and these out-of-touch plans, well, the people aren't going to take it for much longer. He reportedly feels he has the backing of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Well, look, again, I am not a royal historian. I don't know much about the monarchy besides, the origination of it and, William the Conqueror and that sort of stuff. But I don't know how in the world the Queen of England could even possibly think that anyone would be okay with the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family taking a role representing them and the country once again, with this whole entire Epstein ordeal hanging over his head. And again, look, if it was just the enabling, if he was just an enabler, and he was just hanging around Epstein, and they were just partying, and they were just friends, and he wasn't being credibly accused of what he's being credibly accused of, then I could see them fighting a little harder to defend their son, or their brother, or their nephew, or whatever it may be. But when he has these charges hanging over his head, and he has not been forthcoming, he has not been honest, and he has not spoken with the FBI, then how can anyone even think that it's a good idea to bring this knucklehead back into the fold? The Duke is spending time working out how he can serve his country and support the monarchy in the future, a source told the UK paper, saying he is thinking about his future service and public role. Well, I have a few bits of unsolicited advice for the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family. He can serve his country by speaking to the FBI and doing the honorable thing like he said he would. He can also support the monarchy by doing that. And at the end of the day, what he can really do is stop hiding, stop BSing, and stop being a child. There's repercussions for your actions in life, for most of us. For the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family, however, he thinks with all of this hanging over his head, all of these unanswered questions, and these serious allegations brought against him by a credible accuser, and he thinks he's coming back for a public role? I just don't understand where his mind would be at and how he could possibly think that that could occur. He feels he has the support from the family, very much so, including all his siblings and his parents, the source said. Yeah, he felt like he gave a great interview to Emily Maitlis. He felt like coming out and talking to everybody, lying out of the side of his neck about everything on that show, went over swimmingly as well. I have a hard time believing that he has the support of all of his relatives. I have a very hard time believing that he has the support of his parents. I highly doubt it. Maybe the Queen at this point, but his pops is probably pissed. This is the last thing the royal family needs. Look, they shunned old boy for moving to America, but this guy's accused of being involved in a sex trafficking ring and partaking in that sex trafficking ring, and he has their support? I don't know. I just don't buy it. And also, you know how I feel about these so-called sources. This is probably somebody in the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family's camp who's spreading some disinformation, just like LG did for Ghislaine Maxwell. And we sniffed that shit out right away as well. Andrew would need to resolve his legal issues with U.S. authorities, who have repeatedly accused him of avoiding interviews about Epstein and the late Money Man's sex trafficking ring. Money Man, pedophile. The report did not state if that means he will finally sit down with investigators, however. Look, that is the only way that this guy should even ever be invited to dinner again. He has to sit down with investigators. He has to speak to the FBI. He needs to go under oath. He needs to be deposed. And we need to know what occurred that night. Because we have one accounting of what occurred that night, and we have a bunch of receipts to go along with it. And so far from Andrew, we got fat fingers, bathtub's too small, I can't sweat, and that's not even me in the picture. So you tell me what I should believe. This is a man, again, who wouldn't know the truth if it smacked him in the face, has lied about this whole entire ordeal, and to top it all off, used his children as an alibi. A senior royal aide confirmed to the Sunday Times that family discussions had taken place, but said it's unlikely he will resume an official role. Like I said, look, you can have all the discussions you want, right? That doesn't mean you're getting your way. That doesn't mean you're coming back to represent the royal family on the dime of the English taxpayer. The English people have had enough. They don't want to deal with this nonsense. They don't want to deal with Prince Andrew's bullshit. So why do you think they'd want to pay for it? While the hurdles around the Epstein case are still hanging over him, it will be difficult for him to represent the family in any capacity, as his presence would overshadow the work of the monarchy, the aide said. And again, that's what it all comes down to. I always have to point this out, right? Oh, it will hurt the monarchy. It's not about the fact that he's being credibly accused of heinous crimes. It's about the monarchy being affected. It's about the royal family looking bad. Well, breaking news, you already look terrible. You're shunning one of your family members because him and his wife wanted to leave the country. I mean, are you kidding me right now? So the royal family already looks bad in my opinion. So they're worried about looking worse, huh? How about you have a little bit of empathy for what Prince Andrew was involved in? Even if you don't believe, say you don't believe that he was involved in the actual abuse. Shouldn't there be some remorse that Jeffrey Epstein used him to climb the social ladder, and that Andrew was another conduit for Epstein to insert his tentacles into power? That's bad enough. And then you add on the credible accusations by Virginia, and boy, we have ourselves quite the conundrum over in London, don't we? The royal family is supportive of him thinking about what life might be like after issues are resolved, but the palace is not currently planning any future rebranding of his role. So basically they're saying, get yourself a fishing license, get yourself one of those little rowboats, row out to the middle of whatever lake is near you, I don't know the geography unfortunately, and have yourself fun doing some fishing. You're not going to be doing any sort of family functions. You're not going to represent us. But you can think about life after the allegations. Well, in my opinion, he should be thinking about his criminal defense. Because I don't care if he's the Prince of England. I don't care if he's the Pope. I don't care if he's the Shah of Iran. What he is accused of needs further investigation, and it needs to be investigated stringently. Another royal source told the paper that while the Queen has a soft spot for Andrew, the bigger say on his return would go to Prince Charles and Prince William, who are both protective of the royal brand. Neither of them want anything to do with Uncle Touchy. Come on. You really think these two want anything to do with this? Once the Queen Mother passes away and they finally have the crown, back with them, the son and the pops here? Is that really something that they want to do? Let their touchy-feely ass uncle come back into the family and deal with that nonsense? Hell no. So, the Prince Andrew, a.k.a. the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family, I think his days are tied to the Queen Mother. Once the Queen Mother passes away and the crown passes down, I think that Prince Andrew might find himself shunned, and I mean really shunned, by his family. The toxicity of his reputation is that he is indelibly associated with Epstein, and he cannot shed that reputation, the source told the Sunday Times. 100%. That's the proper way to look at it. So, the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family and his Carol Baskin-esque chick, Fergie, they can have all the grandiose plans they want, but they'll never see them come to fruition. That will never occur. I just don't see it happening. No charity, brand, or business would touch him, and the military want him out. What public role can there be? He must come to terms with being a private member of the royal family, though that will crush him. Aw, poor guy. You're just a private member of the royal family? Aw, life must be so hard for you and your first world problems. Give me an absolute break. Meanwhile, Virginia's had to live with her burden for all of these years. And you're worried about being a private member of the royal family as you still swim around in your money like Scrooge McDuck? F you, bro. As well as his close friendships with Epstein and Maxwell, Andrew has been repeatedly accused of having sex with accuser Virginia Roberts at their behest, claims he has always denied. Epstein, 66, hanged himself in a lower Manhattan lockup last August, allegedly, while Maxwell is in custody awaiting trial. Buckingham Palace has maintained there are no plans to review Andrew's status, the Sunday Times said. Yeah, look, this is exactly what I thought it was, in my opinion anyway, folks. Again, I could be wrong. Certainly would not be the first time. But from where I'm at, this is more disinformation. This is Andrew's camp dipping their toe in the water to see what the temperature is. Should we dive all the way in, or should we take a step back? Trying to put some feelers out there, folks, and it's not going to work. The disinformation, oh, this is a source. No, it's not. It's someone from your camp, just like LG when she was pumping her lips to the sun about Ghislaine Maxwell. All Fantasyland stuff, and we sniffed it right out. And I think the same thing's occurring here with Andrew as he tries to get a little bit of publicity on the good side in the news. Oh, yeah, the family's forgiving him, so maybe we should too. Well, your plans, your plots, all of it, and none of it is going to work. You have one out here, Joe Exotic of the Windsor family, and that is speak to the authorities and do what you said you were going to do. Be an honorable guy. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All of the links that go with this episode can be found in the description box. All right, folks, we'll be back later on.